With the conscious brain and the power of the heart, you now move downward to the final center of power, courage. An energy that lives below the belt and exists from your gut to the base of your spine. As you well know, many of your decisions have been made from this lower brain without the benefit of your upper guides of the observer and the lover. For the warrior can often act without the benefit of reason or compassion. Yet this teaching challenges you to now commission your warrior, and with the guidance of the two upper guides, create a triad of power that is incomparable. Imagine your approach to problem solving when you are conscious, caring, and willful. What will your solution orientation be like when you are clear, compassionate, and courageous? This is coherence so strong that there is no barrier to your becoming your optimal self. When the three brains flow simultaneously, you have become the warrior who thinks, who loves, and who acts with purposeful courage. You have many reasons for doing. It is the nature of the species. Resting is only a temporary state, as it is for the purpose of preparing to get moving again. Some of the ancient heroes lived by the Latin phrase solvitur ambulando, which means it is solved by walking. So their way of achieving solutions was to keep moving, which they did by traversing many thousands of reflective miles in their pilgrimage. Similar to sitting quietly, walking purposefully is an intentional step-by-step process that serves as a meditation for heart and soul. It also is required for the labyrinth. When you walk inward for reflection, stand in the center for illumination, and then walk again outward towards action. Why does moving and doing come more naturally for some rather than others? Management theorist David McClellan began work in 1949 researching human motivation and for understanding what drives human behavior. 3 social motives, achievement, affiliation, and power, were determined to be primary motivators to get people moving, and established this behavior as a pattern in the developmental years of childhood. If you have a high achievement motive, you derive satisfaction from personal accomplishments and successful completion as the norm. If power is a strong motive, satisfaction comes from influencing people and situations to make a difference through leadership and bringing about change. If you are high on your affiliation motive, you receive personal satisfaction from friendship and enjoy partners at your side in collaboration. Those you teach will most effectively be motivated by the example of the hero mentor. You will condition your behavior and attitudes often by the powerful influence of those you hold in highest esteem. If you are like most people who learn through visual stimulation, you watch. And if you like what you see, you very well may pattern yourself after the subject of your gaze. External considerations sometimes will motivate you to act according to what is fashionable or what will be recognized as signs of success or status. Your internal motivations of power, achievement, and affiliation are the most significant stimulants as you fuel the internal engine that drives that external movement. Guilt, shame, and fear certainly are motivators, but you could choose instead health, happiness, humility, and service for the greater good. The feelings of emotional satisfaction related to having set a goal and achieving it, or having initiated a random act of kindness, are joy, contentment, and happiness. Take a moment now and go to some event in the past when you were kind, patient, hopeful, and happy. Can you see what you saw? Can you see the faces of others? Can you feel the difference you made for just that moment? For doing what needed to be done in that brief glimpse of time? Such a reward should encourage more fulfilling behavior, rather than the use of short-term intoxicants that have become the cultural addiction. The natural high is experiencing the contribution that has come from your own self-direction and knowing that it made a difference. What stands in your way of this practice and from taking a stand, rising to your feet, to get moving? Is it laziness? The attitude, it's not my problem? Fear of failure? Scrutiny? Or is it apathy? If you believe in the inherent goodness of the human, and that the code of your soul is to live life on purpose, you know that you are here for a reason. A life with purpose. To serve as a channel of the creativity that first formed you. How you can live out the purpose is through your work, which becomes your art. You are an artist, and your preference is to leave a memory, a legacy, a work of art for those who remain behind to gaze in awe of the contribution you have made. You may blame the obstacle on your pathway towards action as being time and energy. In the quantum world, there is no such thing as linear time, only cyclical time. Cause and effect is only a limitation of the physical world. And there is no limit to your energy, which also flows from and to the source. Since all of life is energy, how it flows through you is a matter of choice and may be the first challenge of doing what needs to be done. So if you clear the path, remove the obstructions, bury and leave behind the baggage, you will begin to purify yourself. so that energy may flow through you again, perhaps starting now. Listen to the depth of this wisdom from another traveler on the life path. I have enough. I have enough. I am enough. I am enough. I do enough. I do enough. For the mentor, why you are here is the level of consciousness that was recognized and resolved long ago as you grew into your understanding. The idea of having is based on the abundance that already surrounds you, and the concept of who you are and your purpose is understood so that doing is now what happens naturally. The mentor can heal from a distance as wounded hearts remember the loving touch of the past. The mentor sees the future because it was imagined a long time ago. You, as mentor, no longer need to travel the globe. The world comes to your doorstep. You no longer need to climb the mountains. You can now move them. Because of what you have and who you are, this is what you do. And that will be more than enough. Do what needs to be done. The third practice of the habits of heroes. When I was a young child, my mother said, whenever you see someone in need, you have to reach out and help them. But don't expect any kind of a gratuity for what you do. I was able to put this lesson of my mother's to use when I left my job as a teacher in Stockton, California, to be a full-time volunteer without any pay to organize farm workers. Working as a volunteer for the community service organization and seeing the abject poverty of farm workers in my hometown of Stockton, California. These workers were working in the hot sun, without water, without toilets, without relief periods, working in rather brutal conditions, and not having any kind of representation to make their lives better. I felt that something needed to be done for these workers. After being blessed by learning how to organize by my great mentor, Fred Ross Sr., and having organized at the grassroots level in the farm worker community, I thought something needs to be done. At that time, I was one of 3 bilingual teachers in our school district, so I had a very comfortable life. I had my own home. But I was going through a divorce at the time with 7 children. And I felt so strongly that farm workers needed help. And so thinking very hard about what could I do to help them, I thought this skill of organizing, of getting people together, of showing them how to fight for their rights, this is something that I can offer to the workers. Cesar Chavez and I had talked about organizing farm workers, and he said to me once, you know, unless you and I organize a union, it's never going to happen. I thought he was kidding. He said, no, I'm very serious. And then he said in the next breath, we will never see a national union in our lifetime. So I said, why, Cesar? He said, the growers are too rich, they're too powerful, and they're too racist. So we started the union. It was a difficult decision for me. I was going through a divorce with 7 children and made the decision to move to Delano, California, not knowing how I was going to feed my children, no child support. And when I made that decision, many of my friends criticized me. People in my family thought, what's wrong with her? I had my job, I had all my community, my friends, my relatives. So I had to think very hard about this, and I finally made the decision. We started the Farm Workers Union, and I moved with my 7 children. We got our food from food stamps and from the food bank and lived like the farm workers did. And to this day, I have never regretted that decision. My children have grown up successfully and thrived even though they grew up in the same type of poverty that the farm workers did. All of my kids have turned out fine. So I used my skill as an organizer to help the farm workers help themselves. Looking back at the protections we were able to gain for farm workers, I knew that that risk was a pure act of faith. So don't be afraid to take the risks. When you have that feeling in your heart that you know that you can make a difference in someone's life, even though others will criticize you, even if it doesn't make any sense at all. Act on your feelings, act on your heart. This is my wish for you, that you will have the courage to take the risks in life that will make other people's lives better, and that you be true to your own calling. When you have that calling that comes from your heart, and you feel that there is something that you can do to help an individual, an organization, your community, take that risk, because this is how we can make the world a better place. Just do it.
The hero habits for do what needs to be done. Eliminate, initiate, celebrate. Obstacles are present that stand between you and your destination. Blocks, barriers, or jeers from that voice in the crowd that is saying, "You'll never make it. You're not enough." You have been told such lies since you were a child. You have had others formulate your beliefs and what you understand to be your reality. And the worst chapter of this story is that you believe them. You have taken their jeers seriously, and you have discounted your own thoughts and beliefs enough to have them replaced by the perception of others. Now is the time to eliminate that foolishness forever. Cast out of your life closet the accumulation of junk that is cluttering your life. Remove now that barrier that you allowed to stand in your way. Make the path straight and make the path clear, for you are beginning a new journey right now. Initiate something new. Initiate someone new. Initiation is taking the energy of yes and transforming the tiredness of no. Get up and take a stand. Rise to your feet and make an imprint. It is by your energy that we will be moved. It is by your action that we will be saved. The Red Sea never parted till Moses first put his foot into the water. The journey of 3,000 miles begins with the first step. We have heard it all. But now is the time to let the hearing translate into movement. Inertia is death. Even in our stillness, we continue our journey forward. Deeper, richer. The obstacles are gone. The path is clear. It awaits you and your every step. Celebrate Have you forgotten how to play? Remember when you answered your mother's question, "Where have you been?" With a simple and complete answer, playing. The child in you knew how to play and how to celebrate. What your heart longs for is playfulness without a reason, celebrating life as a dance, singing the songs of intimacy, feasting upon the abundance of joy. When you have done the hard work of eliminating and initiating, you can plan your own party. Send flowers to yourself. Open the finest wine just for you. For without you, there would be no celebration.